Hi, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the conversation series from Air Cargo Africa 2025. Myself, Libin, Chacko, Kurian from Stat Media Group. Right now, we are in Nairobi. I'm sitting down for a video interview with the head of business development and commercial perishables for East Africa at EFL Global. Lasitha Perera, thank you so much for joining us today.
Most welcome, and thank you for inviting us here for this discussion.
Thank you. You joined EFL Global in 2007. It's
Correct.
been almost 18 years now. Take us through the journey, how it has been. You have seen many things in the industry. Tell us your story.
So I joined the Expolanca Group in 2007 onto the airline division. I was doing sales for Royal Jordanian Airlines. So then working there for 5 years, I got the opportunity to work for EFL Global Procurement. So when I was working for procurement for EFL Global, then I got the opportunity to come to Kenya. So since 2013, I've been in Kenya, and I was handling GSA's management for EFL Global, which is another vertical for Expolanca Group. And then also now I have moved into the perishable sector as well. So I'm heading the business development and the perishables for commercials as well for perishables of EFL.
Give us an idea about EFL Global's business here in East Africa and Kenya. What are the biggest verticals that you have? How it is going right now?
So EFL Global was established in 2002 in Kenya. So it's been more than 2 decades in this market. So general cargo vertical has been one of our biggest strengths. And we handled more than 95% of the general cargo market, which is going into EPZ and out of EPZ. So we provide end-to-end solutions. We do the first mile and the last mile for all our customers who is in at EPZ.
Perishable is one commodity that is you are responsible for. Give us an idea about what are the biggest challenges in moving perishables from Nairobi, from Kenya to the world?
So as a perishable market in Kenya, there's more than about 6,500 tons which move out of Kenya weekly. So the biggest challenge right now the Kenya market is facing is the capacity. There has been a lot of capacity crunch happening in Kenya, where capacity has been pulled out from the Kenyan market and being deployed some elsewhere in the world. Because as we all know, the e-commerce has been very popular, and there's a lot of movement from Far East, which is going into the US and to the Europe. So that pricing has really affected the Kenyan market. So I think the biggest challenge is the capacity, and there's the biggest problem is also that the Kenyan flower growers are facing as well because of the capacity crunch. The freight rates are high, and the amount of money they have to invest to get these flowers out, and then the prices that they're getting at the auction is not relatively comparatively good when they have to the money that which they have invested in growing these products in Kenya.
So as a freight forwarder, you stand in between, you deal with both the shippers, the growers, and the airlines. Tell us about what were your conversations with these two stakeholders, and how you manage some of the situations. For example, when you mentioned the capacity issues, for example, in November, particularly in December of 2024, there was big drop in capacity, like freighter capacity was down by 35% or something like that. So how you manage such situations and keeping this relationship stable?
Well, we can move into charters and then also looking at other options and providing solutions. At EFL Global, we take our customers very seriously, and we try to provide them with solutions. So that has been our core strength, providing you with a solution or to get your cargo from here into the destination that you want to. So we have been working with a lot of the relationship that we have with most of the legacy carriers because of our global presence as EFL. We are present in 39 countries, and we have an EFL Global Procurement team who assist us to get in these capacity into these markets. It's not only in Kenya that we support these legacy carriers, we support them in other parts of the world as well. So that relationship has really helped us during this crunch time, where most of these legacy carriers have come forward and said, you have supported us in these countries, so we are going to support you in Kenya and we're going to help you to move your products. So that has helped us a lot, and the credit, I think, should go to the procurement team who has been managing these relationships with the airlines. So you also asked me, how do we manage relationship with the growers and then the shippers? Yes, it is quite a difficult challenge right now, because you cannot go to your customer and say, I'm sorry, I don't have the space. So he will get more frustrated with you. So we had to have more communication with them day in, day out, giving them market updates. This is what is happening right now, and this is our plans. So as long as you keep your shippers and your growers informed of the current situation, they will also be able to understand the challenges, and then they will support you and cooperate with you and run together to ensure that they achieve the goals.
Okay, you're based in here in Nairobi, and the infrastructure in the JKIA airport, and also from shipping side, the Mombasa port. These infrastructures are very, very important to move some of these commodities. How happy are you with some of these infrastructure available, and how you see these things evolving? Because it's been few years since you are here in Nairobi, and what are the gaps that you identify there that you want to change, that you want to see changed? Yeah.
So actually, I also want to touch on that one of the another strongest vertical that EFL Global has in Kenya is that of a transport vertical. We have 75 MP4 Mercedes-Benz prime movers in our fleet. So we do cross-border trucking. All our trucks are C40 licensed, and we do trucking to all of East Africa. So since of late, the challenges, if you ask me, yes, there are a few challenges, but before I go to challenges, I have to compliment how we have grown so far as Kenya. So you see the expressway coming up from JKIA, and then it's all the way going into Mololongo, and then the plans of the Kenyan government having to extend that and have a highway going into Mombasa. So these new projects which are going to come in, which will help the transport vertical immensely. And if you look at the road conditions now, it has improved drastically for the last few years. So there has been a lot of investment happening as well, and a lot of expansions happening as well in Kenya. So I believe those road systems when come into play, and then also the railway system came into play, and there was a big investment on the railway system as well, from Nairobi going into all the way into Mombasa. So all these aspects have really helped the logistic industry. But yet we have challenges. There will be always challenges, and then there's more opportunity for growth. And I believe that we are in the right path as Kenya, moving forward, so that we get more of these infrastructures in place, so that it will help the logistical aspect, logistically, to most of the freight forwarders who are doing in this business.
Along with trucks and airports, you also need cold rooms, because perishable commodities are some of the very difficult verticals to handle. So do you see enough investments coming into the cold rooms, and particularly close to the farms, for example, the first mile? Do you see that? Because the pre-cooling is something very important for that. Do you see that happening?
Absolutely. So EFL Global, EFL Fresh, which is handling the fresh vertical, the perishable vertical, is based in Swissport. Swissport is one of our long-standing partners, and we have installed a vacuum cooler inside Swissport, which is being used by also Swissport clients plus our clients. So yes, there has been a lot of investment happening. I've seen a lot of other ground handling agents also installing their vacuum coolers, which is helping the Kenya perishable and horticulture market.
Okay. How do you see your business growing in next 5 years? You have free forwarding and the GSA side. Tell us about both evolving in next 5 years, where you want the business in the East Africa and particularly Kenya moving forward to.
So our main verticals, as I mentioned to you, have a steady growth. So we see ourselves moving into a bigger fleet if it comes to transportation, and then also when it comes to perishable sector, we want to expand our cold rooms and see how we could support more of these growers, more of our shippers to handling their products. And then also when it comes to general cargo, there's a lot of new factories which is coming up in EPZ. And these facilitations which is happening and these factories which are coming up, it is good for the Kenyan market and Kenyan growth as well, market growth as well. Since recently we have seen another 10 to 12 factories, textile factories, which has come out from EPZ, and there are more in line to open up factories in Kenya. So we believe that the infrastructure is building up, people are coming in, investing, and I think in next 5 years there will be a very steady growth, especially on the general cargo sector, because Kenya is known for perishables, but we can clearly see that the general cargo aspect is also now slowly and steadily building up and coming to that level.
EFL Global is a really global company, and how the East African business fit into the whole, that company's business, and how you collaborate with your teams in the other parts of the world.
Well, we are a very cultural company. We are a multicultural company. And as I mentioned to you, we have been in Kenya for the last 23 years. And we are growing. We have more than 200 staff working with us only in Kenya. And the culture has been so great. And we see a lot of local our friends and brothers and sisters working with us in tandem together. And that has given more strength. And also the other parts of the world where EFL is present, the unity that we have is remarkable. So you can see even any culture, you sitting on a table and talking about each and every market, that collaboration is unbelievable.
Lasitha, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me. Really appreciate it.